Hey y'all, it's Trey. Good to see you again. Fresh off from my second dose of the Pfizer vaccine, and I feel great. There's just a tiny little bit of soreness in my arm because it's like, oh, I was punctured there. Today's topic of reaction is the second studio album by Christina Aguilera. It's called Mi Reflejo, which is named after the Spanish version of her classic Reflection. This was recorded and released about a year after the success of her debut album, self-titled Christina Aguilera. There are 5 Spanish language versions of songs that were previous hits, in addition to 4 original compositions and at least 2 cover songs. It topped the Billboard Latin charts. It was the best-selling female pop vocal Latin album of 2000. In fact, I think it was actually the best-selling Latin pop album, period, of 2000. It was certified 6 times platinum. It won Christina the Latin Grammy Award for Best Female Pop Vocal Album, and it remains one of her most commercially successful albums. Now, before we get into this, I'm just going to preface and say that Español no es mi primera idioma, but it wasn't Christina's first language either. So, on the one hand, I'm worried that there's stuff that will go over my head, and on the other hand, I also know that she did not translate these songs herself. Her producer for the album, Rudy Perez, is the one who translated it and was like, okay, this is how we keep the original meaning and make it rhyme still. So then, let's dive right into this reaction video. Track number 1. Genio, atrapado.
Siglos llevo en soledad, atrapado y queriendo escapar, soñando que alguien me libere.
I love the sound of Spanish.
Así me juego, no me quieres, así me quieres junto a ti. Como genio liberado.
Wow, lots of thoughts about Genio, atrapado. So, it is not a word-for-word translation. I think one of the big things about Genie in a Bottle is that there's an element to self-respect that is emphasized in it. But that line, if you want to be with me, baby, there's a price to pay. That's a very important line. It's like the center of the song in English. The chorus in Spanish goes, si me quieres junto a ti, if you want to be together, frota bien y ya verás, is like rub well or rub me right, and you'll see. That translation puts more emphasis on the sexual chemistry or the physically doing the right thing there, and there's a little bit of, the message of self-respect, I think, is lost. I know that there have been accusations of Mi Reflejo just being word-for-word translations of the English originals, and that is not the case. There are some differences in the translations that are like, okay, the English version gets this piece apart that I don't know that the Spanish version does, which is, it's fine. It's funny that when Shakira recorded Whenever, Wherever, which was on her first English language album, when she recorded the Spanish version, Suerte, it's like, not the same, quite. And I don't know what it is. I think I've rambled on a bit too much about that one. But for my English-speaking viewers, this is just some of what's going on while I'm listening to this. Alright, track number 2. This is an important one. Falsas, esperanzas was the 3rd single from the album. It features the legendary Cuban musician, Paquito Echevarria. He is famous, my English-speaking friends will know him probably. He was really famous for performing with Miami Sound Machine. So think the piano accompanying Gloria Estefan on Conga. And this is going to be sort of a similar sound. I love it! I love it! Yo! Paquito! Okay, Queen, you better whistle on the outro. Let's go. Falsas esperanzas. Woo! No me das falsas esperanzas. Don't give me fake promises or fake expectations. That's not, you're not gonna earn me that way. I think it's really interesting that I was concerned about, you know, the important lines about self-respect that I remember from Genie in a Bottle being not translated into Genio, atrapado. And then you've got this whole song, Falsas esperanzas, where it's just like, nah, I don't do empty words. Hey! So we're continuing the theme, yes, with a new song. I actually looked it up. There's a fun performance of this at the Grammys in 2001. Yes, I love a good dance number. I'm a big fan of that one. Ooh, I'm gonna remember that one, okay. Track number 3, El beso de final. Oh, I already love this. Oh.
En mi corazón una inquietud. Hoy te veo tan distante. Ay, déjame sufrir.
So fun fact, that was in the soundtrack for Dirty Dancing 2. But mostly what I want to talk about with that one, the chorus just got better and better. First I was like, ooh, the harmonies. And the verses were beautiful too. But on the chorus, those harmonies, and then the final one, those ad-libs that she put in, I know that there were probably people who argued that this was just a cash grab and her going over and doing some Spanish-speaking music, but these songs are solid. These songs are so solid. At least to my ears. Track number 4, Pero me acuerdo de ti.
Pero me acuerdo de ti y otra vez pierdo la calma. Pero me acuerdo de ti, pero me acuerdo de ti y se borra mi sonrisa. Pero me acuerdo de ti. Pero me acuerdo de ti.
Yes, ma'am. Pero me acuerdo de ti, but I remember you. It's originally a song that the producer for this album, Rudy Perez, he recorded it back in the 90s, early 90s, for the Puerto Rican singer Lourdes Robles, I believe. So this is one of the covers on the album. I have heard Robles' version. I love the chorus. And I think if I had a better understanding and a better grip on Spanish, I would appreciate the verses more because they feel really, there's something there that I think I'm just not grasping. I do want to take a moment and say that this song is one of the reasons that I appreciate this album and I have a positive bias toward it, I know. As a mixed race person living in America, I appreciate how much effort it sometimes takes to connect to your non-white heritage. I learned in researching this that Spanish isn't even Christina's first language. She didn't really speak Spanish, and Rudy was having to do a lot of the translating for this album. But I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the effort to connect to her Hispanic heritage. Her father is from Ecuador. She made several choices with this album. One, she chose to translate her hits, her English hits, into Spanish. 2, she chose to record original hits in Spanish. And then 3, she chose to cover classics, Spanish classics. She chose to cover Spanish language classics. And that is a choice that I appreciate because it acknowledges that this is not, that this is a part of your culture, this is a part of your heritage, but you are not maybe the best person to represent it. And she chose to root herself in some of the best that the culture has to offer. And I really respect that choice, because as a mixed race person, there are things about one half of my family or the other half of my family that I'm not going to completely relate to, but I still connect to. And so sometimes I'm kind of going like, how do I navigate that? And I think Christina's doing a really good job here of going, let me honor the ones who came before me, in addition to trying to make my own path here. I think that's a great choice. And she sounds good on the song. She sounds so good on the song. Okay, track number 5, Ven Conmigo, Solamente Tú. Solamente tú, acércate a verme. Solamente tú, porque me enloquece. What I think I noticed in that one is she changed up some of the R&B elements. She changed up some of the ad-libs, the runs, and things like that. Probably because the studio was like, okay, we already know that this song is a certified hit, so we're gonna give you a little bit more creative reign to do what you want vocally on the track. You know, I actually, this is one that I've heard a little bit of before, and there have been times where I'm not sure if I'm more familiar with Come On Over Baby or Ven Conmigo. I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. Ven conmigo, baby. Also, I think it's worth noting, I think they did a little something there, okay? There are things about the English radio version that are different from the English album version in terms of lyrics they changed, the rap they added, and some of those elements are not here. But the sexuality, the sexual energy is still in the song, and I wonder if there was a choice with that in the title, because Ven Conmigo does not literally translate to come on over. It translates to come with me. Christina, you nasty. Wait, that's on stripped. We're not there yet. All right. I have to look at these words while I try and pronounce them because it's just a confusing combination for me. This is track number 6, Si no te hubiera conocido, featuring Luis Fonsi. Yes, Fonsi. Oh!
Que al fin se alejaría el dolor que para siempre
Oh, the harmony.
Si no te hubiera conocido, no sé qué hubiera sido de mí. Si no es contigo.
Don't key change. Key change? My friends, has a song ever just undone everything that you think you know about music? I have been humbled today. I have been educated. Before today, all I knew of Luis Fonsi was Despacito, Échame la culpa, you know, modern Latin dance pop, reggaeton pop. I did not know King could do a slow song. And the key change. Oh! I'm a wreck. I need a minute to come back down to earth after that one. I just was not prepared. That is a top tier collaboration right there, folks. All right. Track number 7, Contigo en la distancia. Serenade me.
No existe un momento
these builds. Do y'all hear this phrasing? This phrasing! If you have not heard that song, don't just listen to the clip that I have in this reaction video. Go and listen to it right now. You can pause me and come back to me later. I won't mind. I'll be here when you come back. And if you have heard this song before, go and listen to it again and just really pay attention to it. You might not have done that in a while. So this is one of the covers on the album. It's originally by Cesar Portillo de la Luz. This is a type of song called a bolero. It's very romantic, typically features la guitarra, and it's just, that feeling that I had at the beginning of like, I'm about to be serenaded and I'm about to be just wrapped up in this performance that's about to happen. That's exactly what it does. It's a style of music that just kind of like takes away the world around you, and it's just about the person playing and singing and the person that they are singing to. It becomes so intimate. That was a moment. We're not getting a lot of live music right now, but that track comes real close to having a person sing to you. Oh. Track number 8, Cuando, contigo.
Cuando no es contigo, todo está perdido, es un castigo. Cuando no es contigo.
Cuando no es contigo took a minute to pick up for me. It took a minute. It wasn't really until that breakdown towards the end that it really pulled me in. So that, for me, I think is like the low point of the album. It's probably the least magnetic track for me. Track number 9, Por siempre tú. Oh! This is I Turn to You in Spanish. That's a good moment. Por siempre tú is the Spanish version of I Turn to You, which is in turn a cover of I Turn to You by All for One. And my initial criticism the first time I heard it was, I was like, 90s song that stayed in the 90s, didn't age very well. However, I will say, now I've heard it a few times and it is growing on me. I will admit. Track number 10, Una Mujer. A woman? Is this gonna be what a girl wants? It is! Yes! What a Girl Wants was such a moment. Like, hey, a woman has needs too. And for a young woman to say that and go, you know, you gotta make me happy too. As far as like what needs specifically are being listed, it's a little bit different in the English version. Like, whatever makes me happy sets you free. And in this one, it's like a woman wants to feel that she's well loved, that she can say yes without, like, you know, feeling like she has to surrender. Like, she actually means yes, she is happy, and you're not gonna make her suffer. And that's how you get the love that you dream of from una mujer. So some subtle differences, but I think the general ideas are similar. But I like, you know, a little bit of nuance in translation, so that's fun. And now, track number 11, Mi Reflejo. We know what this is.
Para ti, lo que ves de mí es la realidad, mas tú no conoces. Yo no reconocí a quien vi frente a mí. Esa en mi reflejo, sé que no estoy yo.
Mi Reflejo. Okay, what's interesting about the translation differences there, the English version, when it gets to the chorus, the main points are expressed as questions. Who is that girl I see? When will my reflection show? Whereas in the Spanish version, those thoughts are expressed more as statements rather than questions. She straight up says, I don't recognize the person in the mirror in front of me. That reflection is not who I really am. So it's a little bit more direct and a little bit more on the nose than what is expressed in the English version. Still top tier vocals, still amazing. Love Reflection, love Mi Reflejo. And speaking of Mi Reflejo, we have come to the end of the album. Wow, what a trip. I understand why it is one of her most commercially successful albums. This album isn't as much remembered in English-speaking circles in America, but I'm curious to know if in Spanish-speaking circles here in America or in Latin American countries, if this album is as big of a deal as her English hits, Genie in a Bottle, What a Girl Wants, Come On Over Baby. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and sitting through this reaction with a non-Spanish speaker. I'm working on my Spanish and practicing on Duolingo, but I recognize that I have several shortcomings when it comes to understanding the language in real time and my listening and reading comprehension. All of that to say, let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when I post more Christina Aguilera album reactions. And I will see y'all again very, very soon. Bye!